Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And some breaking news out of the Springbok camp. It has been confirmed that Springbok lock ETZEBETH will play against the All Blacks tomorrow after the passing of his father earlier this week. It's been a very strange week. It's been a very sad week in the rugby world for South African rugby as we mourn the loss of both Evan's father as well as Nick Costa, former Western Province and one of the most talented schoolboy rugby players we've seen come out of our system. So it's been it's been a sad week, and I think it's hopefully you will have something to celebrate tomorrow with the Boks, and I think that they'll be playing for a pretty big purpose. Jaden Henderson also tragically losing his father a few weeks ago, so the Springbok camp's been kind of rocked by the death of two teammates' fathers. But with regards to tomorrow, Evan was named as the captain of the team on Tuesday. He was part of the group that travelled over. He's making his return from injury. He hasn't played in quite a few months and was going to start and captain the side. And then yesterday we woke up to the news that his father Harry had tragically passed away. He had been fighting cancer for quite a long time. And for example, if you look at a year ago, Evan specifically requested to play that Bloemfontein test and to make sure that his 100th test would come in Cape Town because it was difficult for his father to travel, and he was based in Cape Town, so he could get to that test, and he wants to obviously have him there for his 100th test. So yeah, it has been quite a long fight for him. It doesn't make it any easier. And as we've been saying throughout the week, our thoughts really do go out to Evan and his family. And then we sort of waited to see, on the news. I think a lot of people were saying, well, surely he comes home, surely he leaves the squad, somebody else comes in, and he only wants because he wants to be with his family. And I think there's sort of two aspects to it, isn't it? The first is he capable of playing? Regardless of whether he would like to or whether he wouldn't like to. If he does want to play, is he capable of playing? Can he align himself? Can he manage to sort of put himself in the right headspace to be able to get onto the park tomorrow and put in the performance that we know he's capable of? And the next sort of thing is, what's the best thing for him? Because it's very easy to sit there saying, surely he wants to be with his family. Of course he wants to be with his family. And after this match, I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the first earliest flight out possible after the match to get back down here to this family. I think he'll leave the camp for a week or two. I don't think he'll play against Argentina. I think he'll come back into camp. I don't even think he might actually go to Argentina. I think that he could very well, leave camp a couple of weeks and then come back and play again once again against potentially the All Blacks in that sort of mid-August. So the question is, why is he playing? And I think, if you look at when players that get to the top of the top, and I mean, he's one of the greatest players of all time already. There's always sacrifice along the way, isn't there? And what's so important is it's not just the sacrifice from the players themselves. When you think about what parents have to do, what family have to do, to enable these players to have the careers they have. Players miss births of their child. Players miss, major family events. There's a lot of sacrifice the parents go through, whether it's, sacrificing on personal ambition to ensure the best for the kids, to give them the best opportunity to be where they are. So for a career like Evan ETZEBETH, to have 100 tests at the age he does, there would have been so much sacrifice over the years from him and his parents. And, you can only imagine, and that he wants to honor his father by playing tomorrow. He wants to go out and recognize everything that his father did for him, everything that, his family did for him, to be enabled him to be the pride of the nation. He's one of our best players ever. He's a Hall of Famer, as they would put it, if he was playing in a different sport. And he feels that the best thing for him to do right now is to go out and play in his father's memory. And it's very special when it happens. We've seen some inspirational performances in the past in this sort of circumstance. I remember Ryan Jansen van Rensburg lost his mother in the week of a Lions game, and he decided to play, and he won man of the match. And he was absolutely sensational. And you could see there was just so much drive in him. There was so much that he wanted to put out there to recognize and to pay homage to the people that did allowed him to be where he is. And that's exactly sort of the attitude that Evan must be having for tomorrow. We've just had the captain's press conference. Unsurprisingly, he wasn't involved in it. Bongi Madambi actually fronted the media instead. And to do this, I think the biggest thing, and I think it speaks to the culture of the Boks, where he said, it's not just his loss, he's grieving and we're all there for him, but it's a Springbok loss. We all feel it as a team. The team mood, for example, he says, has been very, very down this week because they are such a tight group. He says, and to be fair, I think a lot of coaches sort of like to throw it around, we're a family as a team. I genuinely think the Springbok squad is that close. I do think that the culture is very much there. So he said, it's a massive loss for him, but it's a loss for us as well. you know, we all feel it as a squad because we are so close. We felt it when Jaden lost his father. We're feeling it now that Evan lost his father. And, you know, the squad has really had to pull together this week to make sure that, you know, first of all, that they're all aligned and that they know what the task at hand is tomorrow, which is a massive task to take on the All Blacks, but also to make sure they're there for Evan and that they're all managing to cope as a squad and be able to get themselves in the right frame of mind tomorrow. So at the end of the day, you know, we can't ask for anything from Evan, and I don't think the Springbok management would have asked for him. That they gave him the option, they gave him as much time as possible. They said, right, you decide. If you want to play, we'll play you. If you think you can play, we'll play you. But if you want to leave, if you want to go home, you can do that as well. And he's made the decision. So now he's made the decision. As a country, we'll stand behind him, and he knows that he'll have the full support of the entire nation. It's an incredibly brave thing to do. And, you know, hopefully tomorrow we will see a Springbok performance that really does pay tribute to all the tragedies that we've lost in the last couple of weeks. It should be an absolutely spectacular spectacle. I'm expecting a phenomenal game. It's against our biggest rivals. It's always the biggest test match of the year, Springboks versus the All Blacks. And yeah, this is just going to be something else that's going to add to what is already going to be a pretty special occasion. And hopefully the match lives up to its billing. But yeah, we'll see you guys over the weekend for some coverage. And yeah, the captain's press conference will be up this week. And if there's any other news before tomorrow, we'll be posted. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow on the watch along. Thank you very much, and I'll chat to you soon.